So as far as I can tell, this is going to be my closeout video for 2023. And what better way to do it than to show you some gadgets that I've picked up over the years, over the year, I guess I should say, because I did this last year, and that was another video. Yeah, these are just things, not necessarily tools, but kind of quality of life type things make your job a little bit easier, helping hand type stuff. And yeah, as I see them usually on social media posted, I pick them up and give them a try and see what I think about them. And yeah, I got a small selection of stuff here, not as spectacular as last year, but still worth taking a look at. So yeah, let's get into it. So, starting off, I found this one, again, just someone posted a short video about it. I did a quick Amazon search, and I found it, and I bought it. And that would be this guy right here, which is upside down for you, called the Handee Clamp. Handee Clamp is what they're calling it. And basically what this thing is, it's like a nut and a bolt holder for tight spaces. Or say if you're putting an alternator in, which is what comes to mind because that's the last thing I used this thing on. You got a through bolt in the bottom of the alternator. I mean, sure, you could use, needle nose pliers or vice grips to hold it. But yeah, the father-son team, I think out in Ohio, kind of invented this thing. It's just basically a little screw here to tension it. It's staked down the back here, and you kind of twist it in like this here. And you give yourself a little, my phone's making noises. Give yourself a little bit of a tension there. And yeah, and you just kind of drop this in, nut or bolt, I guess it wouldn't matter. And yeah, you slide this on there, you get your bolt started, and then when you need to torque it down, you take this thing off, you put a wrench on it, and you give her a go. Like I said, I've used it a few times. It works pretty good for what it is. It's not really meant for any high torque applications. Like I said, it's just for getting it started, and then you replace it with an actual wrench. But yeah, I like it, and I mean it holds pretty good there. That was just threads popping into place. But yeah, I mean it holds pretty good. You really gotta give her a go. I can't get that out without fear of breaking it. But yeah, I mean, once it's on there, and it's not going anywhere until you loosen this, unless you do something really dumb with it. But yeah, I like this thing. So this next item up on the lot here, I actually bought this one just as a cart filler, I guess. You go to a place, you're buying stuff, and you're like, hey, I'll throw that in the cart and give it a try. And I actually got this one from Jersey Discount Tools. Nick over there, he sells tools. He does mostly YouTube and TikTok from what I can recall. But he made a special mirror. Hopefully you could see that there. It's an homage to his and my favorite creator, Mr. Subaru. If you could see. I just had to have it. But while I was in there, I think I got some new roll pins, and I got this thing which he has named the double dongler. Dongler? Yeah, dongler. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't think he's getting this one made. I think he's actually just rebranding this thing. I think Acer might make something like this. And yeah, this thing, it's one of those things. It's just kind of like, I didn't know I needed it until I had it. I mean, pretty much before, if I needed something, a little bit of a teeny pry bar, I would just grab a flathead screwdriver like every other gorilla mechanic on the planet. And yeah, so I threw this in there, and this thing is great for just, getting into like little body panels. You can get too much on forklifts as far as that goes. A little plastic stuff you don't want to really refund too bad. It's a nice hard steel. You could probably... So, I mean, it's stiffer than hell, but it's great for stuff like that. Kind of use it as a scraper action. If you got some silicone or something, you want to remove off a little area, or if you got it in a hole, you kind of want to dig it out. And yeah, it's just one of those tools I just keep finding uses for. You got a piece of like a head sitting on something that's bolted on, silicone, sticking it together. Stick this guy in here, and it pries up nice. I mean, I'm sure there's limits to as far as how much bend this thing could take, but I haven't bent it yet, and I've put some nice nice pressure on it. The ones I've seen, I think, like I said, from Acer, I think it's the company name, usually have a straight shank. This one kind of gives you a little bit of finger indents on the thing. I've also seen them with rubber grips, but yeah, this one, I like it. I don't have links for Nick's stuff, but I'll link his channel. He does a YouTube thing. Even if you're not going to buy tools from him, check out his YouTube channel. The guy's kind of funny. He's not right in the head. But yeah, and I go to his store every once in a while to buy stuff, and he's always got cool little gadgets like this. And yeah, he's a good guy. So yeah, I'll link his channel in the thing. Go check him out. All right, and the next item we have is this stuff right here. They call this stuff math or meth, and yeah, you get tired throughout the day, take a little toot of this stuff, and you got a whole head full of energy to get you through the night at least. I'm joking, of course. These these are little circuit breaker style fuses, and they range from, I think it's like like 0.5 up to 25 or 30 amps, and they come in the different colors which match the types of fuses that you would use. These particular ones are for the mini fuses that they that are mostly popular nowadays. And then they got the micro fuses. The micro fuses and the mini fuses, the spades are exactly the same. Some engineer decided one day that they needed to have an 1/8 of an inch more clearance, so they made up the micro fuses. I call them micro fuses. I don't know if that's what their official name is, but I'll drop pictures of them in, and so you can see the difference. But yeah, these things are kind of cool. Most of the time, you get into a situation, and actually, I got a little story. I found this. It was one of those situations where the guy had his own mechanic that's been working on the forklift forever, and one of these was sitting in the fuse box, and I said, "What's that for?" And he said, "Oh, I got that fuse. It blows every once in a while. I'm not sure what it is, so instead of replacing it," the crap I got to deal with some people out there in the field. But yeah, so I saw them, and I've been aware of these for a while, and I've wanted them for a while, and just so happened that day I remembered to actually order them. And yeah, basically what you do is you stick this in there, and if you got a fuse that's blowing, technically, you know, you're supposed to go into the schematic and detach everything from the circuit and plug things back in until it blows the fuse. And if you got all day, or you could just kind of go in like a caveman who doesn't have all day to do something simple like that, and then yeah, just kind of unplug stuff and hope for the best. And with these things, you won't have a pile of fuses sitting next to the forklift when you're done. You could just reset them. I will say, because they are, I mean, it's probably a bimetallic strip in these things, and the more they blow, the more likely they are to blow. So you're eventually going to wear them out, but these things are cheap. I mean, cheap. And yeah, like I said, you have a fuse that's blowing, you stick it in there, gives you an ability to diagnose it without having to go through a pile of fuses while you're diagnosing it. And yeah, I like them. I've only actually used them once, the way God intended them to. And yeah, like I said, a little bit of a time saver because you're not replacing fuses, and money saver too because you're not replacing fuses. So yeah. Now, the next item I got, and this is called the Fat Ivan, which, I don't know, kind of reminds me of a Russian gangster of some sort. And basically it's, again, made in the USA by a firefighter. I got a soft spot for anyone trying out stuff that's making stuff in the USA. If it's even remotely looks like I'd be able to use it, I'd pick it up just to kind of help support that type of attitude. But yeah, this thing was designed by a firefighter, and his problem was, especially I know from going into commercial buildings, if you're a firefighter, you go into a door in a commercial building, usually they lock behind you, which is bad if people need to come in to get you from behind, and they need to know what door you went through. So basically what this does is, and I'll drop a picture so it's easier to see what's going on here, but you kind of drop this over top of the hinge of the door there, and these two little ears that come out here keep the door from closing, so it holds the door open. Now, firefighting, of course, that's a good thing, but for me as a field tech, a lot of the times I'm going in through those doors and I need to get in and out to carry things in, and usually there's a piece of a pallet that you would stuff inside the door, or a rock that they've been using so they can go out and catch a smoke when the boss isn't looking. But yeah, this thing is perfect for that. Like I said, I've used it probably half a dozen times and I haven't seen a door that it won't work on yet. Just slip this thing on there, it holds the door open for me. I bring my tool bag in, any other tools, laptops and whatnot. When I'm done, I pull this off. It has little magnets right here. If I had to take points off of it, the magnets, you're not going to be able to see it, but they're a little recessed in here. And I got this piece of steel right here, and it kind of doesn't hold that great. So I'm a little leery about actually putting it on that metal clip permanently on the front of my tool bag there, because like I said, it just kind of doesn't hold enough for me to trust it. But I stick it to the side of the work truck there, and when I know I'm going to need it, I grab it and then I stick it on the front of the tool bag, just temporarily. So, and yeah, I like it. It works pretty good. The other day I was at a place and it was windier than hell, and I was like, I wonder if this thing's going to hold up, and I stuck it in there and the wind was blowing pretty good and it didn't break. It also has, I guess more for the firefighting aspect of it, this is actually reflective tape there. You can't really see it on camera. I would need a laser to show you, but yeah, it's cool. It's, like I said, it's cheap. It works. I like it. It saves me a lot of headache of having to find someone to hold a door open for me. One little trick: if you need a door to be propped open at a place, ask the guy who's going to be coming to open the door for you, because he's not going to want to, and he's going to give you permission to prop the door open. Little mechanic hack I figured out over the years. But yeah, that's it. That is the Fat Ivan. So, last but not least, I got this here little Hex Driver bit holder set. I think this is probably, yeah, it is probably the only tool on this, or thing on this bench that I actually featured on my channel this year. It was kind of a side thing when I was showing the DeWalt 8-volt gyro powered screwdriver thing. And yeah, these things are awesome. 100 people make these. These are just the ones I found, and they seem to be pretty good. And they're great. I mean, it's just a nice way to keep all your regularly used 1/4-inch bits in one area. Me personally, I probably, between all my customers, I have about 100 powered pallet jacks. And one of the things you end up doing a lot is taking apart the head, the ETAC cards in there. They always break the heads, but yeah, I mean, they generally use, if I remember correctly, a 4mm, 3mm, and a 1.5mm to take them apart. And when I got to work on one, I just unclipped this from the tool bag and I got all the bits I need. Whereas before, you buy a case of these or a set of these, it comes in 10. I only use these 3, and then I got 10 bits or 7 bits sitting in the tool bag that I never going to use, and I got to fish them out. Whereas this, like I said, you just kind of grab it and go. I will say I do need to get a long 3mm. Reason being is one of the screws on those jacks for the cover for the ETAC card sits kind of recessed, and I need about that much more. So I still have to grab a T-handle Hex driver to get those out. But yeah, so I keep those Allen drivers in there, or Hex drivers in there, a number 2 and a number 3 Phillips, because you always need a number 2 and a number 3 Phillips. And this here 1/4-inch 5/16 driver that I always have. For me personally, I normally only use these ever for hose clamps, and they work great for that. And unless it's metric, but we kind of work on the metric ones as well too. Yeah, this is a great little handy thing. I'm actually thinking about getting another one just to kind of fill out these and get a couple more commonly used bits that I use on a regular basis. So that is it as far as gadgets I've found over 2023, or in 2023, probably be a better way of saying that. And as far as the calendar goes, I'm pretty sure this is going to be my last video for 2023. So I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a happy and safe New Year. And thank you guys for tuning in, watching my videos, and putting up with my crap, with my bad camera work and horrible audio on occasion. But yeah, would you guys make it worth my while to do these things? My comment sections in these videos and my short videos, they're a joy for me to read, and you guys are the best. As far as this stuff goes, I'll link the stuff I have links for. I will link Jersey Discount Tools, Nick. Even if you're not interested in buying tools from him, check his channel out. The guy's a hoot, to say the least. I like him, and I don't like anybody who sells tools, so that's got to be telling you something. I will also link last year's video somewheres here or there. I can't remember which side it comes up on. As far as the gadgets go, the only thing on that video, there was a collapsible stool I showed on that, I'm pretty sure, and I had it. I used the one, had it for over a year. It worked great. It started getting sticky from all the dirt and everything, so I decided to buy a new one, and the new one collapsed the first time I used it, so I'm taking that out of that video because they changed the plastic on it. I guess they were making too much money, so they wanted to make it cheap so they can make more money. But yeah, that's a piece of junk now, so don't buy that. And yeah, as always, comments, concerns, leave them down there in the comments section. I'll do my best to get back to you. And yeah, I think that's about it for this video. Again, thank you guys for watching. There you go.